welcome to the show. Sauce in the Fridge. It's Kevin.
And I'm Neil.
Today we got some few topics here. We're going to be talking about your voices and how you hear it and how it sounds different in your own head, and some language barriers between different countries.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about the new Avengers trailer that came out.
Oh, and I'm excited for that one.
It's going to be a good one right there. I love Marvel movies.
Me
and
too.
We want to talk about a video game today. It's 7 Days to Die.
I haven't played it yet.
It's a good one. I like it. But first, our sauce of the day.
The sauce of the day. Today we have a different kind of sauce. This one's not so saucy, but it is quite saucy. It is, well, I'll start off with their family motto, is Sene Meto. It means without fear. In 1978, it inspired John Jameson to found his distillery in Bow Street. Today, it inspires us to carry on his legacy. Smooth whiskey, triple distilled, aged at home in Milton. For your drinking delight, this is a whiskey. We talked about in the first podcast how liqueurs and liquors and stuff like that can also be considered some sort of sauce. Today, we are actually hitting a little bit of the sauce, having a taste of our Jameson here. So that is our sauce of the day.
Yeah, good old Jameson Irish whiskey.
Oh, yes. Got a little bit of the Irish blood in us. Not much.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. Got more German in us, actually.
Yeah, than anything.
Yeah, a lot more German. Like 3/4, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, 7 Days to Die. It's
I haven't played this. What kind of gameplay is that?
It's,
I'm sure most people that have played it have.
Played Minecraft before.
I haven't played Minecraft. I've seen people play it, but
It's like, you got to go around and you got to chop up plants and trees and pick up stones and rocks and shit like that. to
Collect
craft-
materials
Yeah,
and-
collect all your materials, craft all your stuff, and it's like a zombie survival game. So you also got to make sure you're eating, drinking your food and water.
okay.
And then watching out for zombies and all that.
Yeah,
it's it's a great game. I love it. It's still in alpha, beta stages or whatever. So it's
Okay.
not,
Okay. Still kind of like a prototype.
yeah,
kinda
they're still working on it and whatnot, and which is awesome because it's not like one that they've given up on. They keep on. I think just Thanksgiving they released
a new beta.
a new beta. Yeah, but it's not like they got beta stables, which is one like they've worked out all the bugs on it.
Right.
And they got one that they just released on like 16.4, and they just released a beta 7, or I think it's alpha is what they're on right now is what it's considered. And it's alpha 7, and this was the one that's probably got bugs, so it's going to lag and
Gotcha.
be a little bit more sucky in a sense.
Do you get to keep like your progress since they did the update or whatever? Like, do you have progress that you can save or whatever?
Yeah. You got your maps you can save, but I'm not sure though if it transfers over from update to update or not. Exactly how that works.
So you might have lost like all your materials that you've collected and all and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it also depends because if you got like a saved game, you got a saved game on a certain beta, I think it stays on that beta.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome, but it's like a time-consuming game. It's like if you played.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet, like, even just watching people play Minecraft, like, the way that
Yeah.
game works, I just can imagine people are spending, like, hours upon
yeah.
hours. Just like, what was it? There was a city somebody built. It wasn't, like, Disneyland, but it was some sort of city that him and his son, like, spent, like, 5 years building the city, and I was like, Jesus fuck, and it looks fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the video of like going through the city, and they got like all the details and shit. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But
What was it?
Super time
I spent
consuming.
like me and Alex the other night were on there from like 10 until 2 in the morning, and I was like,
From 10 at night till 2 in the morning.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to build a wall around where we're at and then build a moat around that, get drawbridges so that way we're protected. And that way, if zombie hordes come up and whatnot, we can protect ourselves. And
Yeah.
we didn't even completely finish the wall and we didn't finish the moat either. And we got like halfway done with it. And it was like, God damn, that much time has already gone by. It's
Yeah.
very time consuming.
That's crazy.
And then just I bought No Man's Sky
Yeah.
a while back.
Right.
And my computer's I need a new graphics card in order to run it on my computer, so I haven't been able to play it yet.
Right.
And Katie's computer runs just fine with it on there, so I downloaded it the other night and started playing it for the first time.
Sweet. Where can you buy that 7 Days to Die?
Steam.
Is it on Steam?
I'm pretty sure you can buy it through like PlayStation Network too.
I was just gonna ask, is it on any of the consoles?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I looked up some videos because I couldn't get it to work on Katie's computer the other night.
That's weird.
Kept on telling me it wasn't able to access a certain admin file or something like that, and then it would just stay loading and it wouldn't load up all the way.
Gotcha.
Kind of sucked. But yeah, when I was looking up how to fix videos, one of the ones was some dude who had it on the PlayStation 4
Cool.
or 3 or something like that.
So if I wanted to play it, I could go download it.
Yeah,
Or
probably.
go out and buy it. However.
Yeah, it's a good game.
That's cool.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Oh, yes. Actually haven't spent much time playing video games in quite some time. I saw my roommates playing Uncharted the other day, and that was one of my favorite games before I kind of stopped. And it's like, man, I got to start dedicating some time again to playing some video games because they look so cool. Especially like since the last time I played. Dude, I haven't really played video games in probably 2 or 3 years, and just like the graphics, the quality of gameplay, and like the storyline.
It's all improved.
Yeah, everything's just gone up. It's amazing.
The only other game I could think of that you might have played or seen someone play similar to 7 Days to Die would be Fallout.
Oh, okay.
It's basically the same general idea as Fallout, except for instead of being in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, you're in a zombie apocalyptic wasteland.
Right. It's still a type of post-apocalyptic, but yeah, zombies.
It's zombies instead of radiation and shit like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds cool. Yeah, Fallout was a really cool game. I've played it a little bit, but that one's super time-consuming. The little bit I played, I accomplished almost nothing. I don't even remember. I think I started a mission. I probably got maybe a half hour into it, and then I went to bed. I was late at night or something. I was playing with somebody else.
I think they just came out with a new Fallout. I think it's like Fallout 76 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Yep. I've seen some ads for that one recently.
Yeah.
I think it's been a couple months, but yeah.
I've heard some people have complained about it. Something to do with they're like Bethesda, I think the name of the company is, and Blizzard or something like that. They work together and make that game, and people have been complaining about it and shit and saying, "Oh, this game was better," blah blah blah. And it's like, well, and they're like, "Oh, don't buy from them. The company's going under." It's like, well, you're complaining about one game. That one game doesn't affect all the other great games that they've made throughout all the years and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. Well, anytime you have something somebody doesn't like, or a certain group of people, a lot of times on the internet they go extreme.
Yeah.
I was watching a video of some quite hated people. They're hated on the internet. For example, I can't remember the name of the other guy, but Ben Shapiro was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Shapiro is just absolutely hated on the internet. But him and this other guy I forget the other guy's name. I wish I could remember.
Was it Steve Crowder?
No, it was like John or Jason something. He was a foreign guy. He's from Europe. But they've been doing this a tour of talks and stuff like that, and they do a meet and greet after. And I guess they meet at least 100 people, 150 people after every show. Meet and talk to 100, 150 people after each show. Yeah, and they've got nothing but love, nothing but support, and people that generally like them for whatever reason, and they both could not recall one bad situation of somebody coming up to them out in public because they're both very publicly known people. Yeah. And can't recall a time somebody's come up and pointed them out. Where did I start with this?
People hating them on the internet.
Oh yeah, hating on the internet. But yeah, if you look on the internet, you look them up, dude. It's like there's thousands of comments on either one of them about hatred for just stupid shit. They're just
I've watched there's a couple
out to hate on the internet.
Like his talks is one guy I've watched on YouTube where he goes around to these rallies and all that and tries to talk to the people about, like, why are you here right now and whatnot. And most of them got like, oh, they hate Trump or don't want Ben Shapiro talking at a college campus or something like that. And he's like, well, you don't want him talking here, but does he have the free speech? If he's got free speech, he can say whatever he wants, wherever he wants. Right. Why are you trying to shut him down? Doesn't that kind of interflict with our First Amendment rights and whatnot? And most of the people who'll talk to, and either they'll completely contradict something that they just said, like, oh, I'm all about peace and love and accepting everyone, but no, fuck this Trump. Guy. He should be, someone should kill him or some other crazy
ridiculous.
Thing and whatnot.
It's ridiculous.
And it's just like, really? And it's this double standard.
Yeah.
Yep. The internet allows people to complain and say things they probably would
Especially-
never say in person.
Yep, especially when you can do it all anonymously if you want to. And that's where a lot of the hatred comes from, is from people doing it anonymously. It's an anemone. It's an anemone.
Anonymously. Yeah.
Thank you. I could not for the life of me say it. Have you seen? I know you have seen. I know you've seen the trailer for Avengers Endgame.
Oh God. Yes.
Yes.
That looked fucking sick.
Were you with me when we went to go see
Avengers 3?
Yeah.
I think so.
Why can't I think of the name?
Infinity War?
Infinity War in
Yeah.
theaters. You went with us to see it in theaters,
Pretty sure,
right?
yeah. You mean Katie went, and we might have had someone else with us.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
Alex or something.
Something.
But yeah, no, we
Yes.
definitely saw that.
Fucking awesome.
Amazing.
Fucking awesome. I can't wait for it. I love Marvel movies. Like, I started watching, I downloaded a bunch of them on YouTube, or started renting them on YouTube. I just started with Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And it was right before, it's probably about a year or two ago, before it seemed like they started just fucking cranking them out.
Oh, yeah.
And then they started cranking them out like right after I started doing that. So I was like, this is awesome, because I caught up. I watched all the Iron Mans. I watched all the Thors, Spider-Man. I watched Ant-Man, the Guardians of the Galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a good amount of the Captain Americas, but I think there's more Captain America movies than there are Iron Man movies. He's got
There's
few
only
of them.
3 Iron Man movies, and there's only 3 Captain American
I
movies.
thought Captain America had like 4.
No, he's only got 3 because he's got Captain
he's got
America,
Captain
First
America.
Avenger. You got Captain America, Winter Soldier. Then you got Captain America: Civil War. That's it.
Isn't there one more?
No,
I
Civil
guess
War
I've
was
seen
the
them.
most recent one. And then there's only the 3 Iron Mans. Then I'm pretty sure there's 3 Thor movies.
Yep.
There's only 1 Hulk movie.
Oh yeah, the Hulk. I never did go
Incredible
back
Hulk.
and watch the Hulk movie.
Yeah. Well, that one they have a different actor. It's not Mark Ruffalo or whatever his name is.
That's true, but doesn't it tie into that
No, yeah,
that
'cause
particular Hulk?
What's his name? Mark Ruffalo. He has referenced scenes from that movie. So,
Okay.
And the general dude or whatever,
Yeah.
he's in that movie, is also in other movies, and he's playing the exact same character. So that
Okay.
movie that's technically the
That's
same.
canon for
that's-
the MCU.
Yeah, that's like I'm pretty sure that was the first movie that started out the
Yeah, it
whole
was.
MCU, because then he's
Well,
like,
the thing
and
with-
the end he ends up talking with Tony Stark at the very end, was like the Hulk might be a problem, and then it goes to the
Oh
credits.
no
or whatever.
shit!
That was
I'm
their
gonna
end
have to go
credits
back and watch that one.
Yeah.
I remember I had an opportunity to watch that shortly after it came out,
scene.
and it was like a year before that a Hulk movie had come out, and then it felt like it was a year before that Hulk movie came out, and then like 2 years before that a Hulk movie had come out. So I was getting fed up with the Hulk movies. I was like, I've seen the Hulk. I know the fucking
Yeah.
story. I don't need another Hulk movie. And then I guess they tied that last one into the MCU, the fucking one I didn't watch.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I'm
that
gonna have
came
to go
out in
back
like
and watch it.
2008, I think.
Was
The
it?
other one came out in 2002. And that was
Wasn't
the only
there
other
one
one
somewhere in
before.
between there?
Nope. Pretty
Man,
sure
I
there
thought-
wasn't.
I thought there was. Maybe I just saw a lot of advertisements for the second one.
Yeah,
And
probably.
thought that there was another one. And I do that sometimes. I'll see an advertisement early on
Yeah.
and then see it closer to when it's coming out. I'm like, didn't they just do this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was it? I just watched a video recently on YouTube talking about how the 2002 Hulk. Someone's like, "Oh, that Hulk could beat up the new Hulk or whatever in a fight, or who would win in a fight and whatnot."
Right.
And the Hulk we have now would beat the other Hulk.
Oh,
in a
yeah, no
fight.
doubt. No doubt. The other Hulk, the Hulk we have now, took on fucking Thor
Yeah.
and smashed him.
Well, in the first Avengers, he stopped one of those giant flying creatures with one punch.
Yeah, right off the
The other Hulk
back.
doesn't show no other strength like that.
No, definitely not. He struggled with the electric dude.
Yeah. Well, anyway, talking about the trailer. The
Yes.
trailer was amazing.
It looked great.
Well, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's awesome to finally get some new information about the
Yes.
new movie coming
It's got
out.
me excited about it.
Absolutely.
Especially since like the night before I saw it, I just watched Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah.
And then you see the trailer. Mm-hmm. And I was really glad that I watched Ant-Man and Wasp before I saw the trailer. Because that ending part of the trailer where you see Ant-Man like,
Yeah.
hey, can you buzz me in? I'm Ant-Man. We met at the airport about a year ago. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know if you've seen Ant-Man and Wasp, but at the end, I won't put out spoilers. I'll leave that to the imagination.
some things happen, and it's just surprising that he's there.
Yeah. Well, if you see Ant-Man, well, never mind. Yeah, it's great that he's there. I'm happy he is.
Yeah.
He's there under some unlikely circumstances.
I like that he still has that same van from when we like first see him in the
Yes.
first Ant-Man movie. I think it's that exact same.
Is that
van
the
they
same
had.
van?
I think
Okay.
so. I'm not 100% sure.
Because it's the same van through Ant-Man and Wasp, but
Yeah.
I didn't know it was. I can't remember it was in the first one.
Yeah, I'm pretty
It's
sure
a
he
long
uses
time
it in
ago,
the
saw
first one too. What else you get to see, because Hawkeye was not in Infinity War.
No.
No, he wasn't at all. And
Oh, you're right.
we get to see him in the trailer. You get to see him, and he's wearing a different uniform than he's using. And
I was hoping you were gonna bring this up.
I think it's like Nomad. I don't think it's Nomad. He's in the comics. Something happens to his family.
Yeah.
and he decides to not be Hawkeye. He decides to be someone else.
That's right, because in was it the second Avengers movie, you get to go and see his family. Like
Yeah.
he's hiding out on that ranch or whatever. So yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know it was because of the family thing. I knew there was something that happened and he changed his uniform,
Well,
and
that's
his
what it
name
was
and shit.
in the comics, and what I'm assuming is spoilers in Avengers 3, when Thanos snaps and makes half of all living creatures disappear. I'm assuming that Hawkeye's family disappears. And that's the
Yes.
only reason he came out from well, he was in they say that he was under house arrest or whatever to
Yeah.
help his family, and supposedly Ant-Man did the same thing because he's got a family.
Yeah,
And he didn't want to endanger them with his line of work. So like, well, I'll just take house arrest so that way I can still take care of my family. And then what I'm assuming happens is his family disappeared and he becomes, I forget the name. I wish I could remember it.
I think you're right. I think it is Nomad.
Nomad?
I think so.
It doesn't sound right. I think it's something else. But yeah, he's the same dude, but he's got like a different weapon and does a few things differently.
Just kind of changed up his look and his style. His whole state of mind's probably different now
Well,
because
yeah,
of it.
it's-
Because
yeah. Yep. So
Yeah.
that's got me excited. I'm super excited for that.
I cannot wait, dude. Like I said, Marvel Cinematic Universe is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I like DC. Don't get me wrong. I love DC. Some fucking Batman and Robin and yeah.
Superman, Aquaman,
See,
Wonder
thank you.
Woman.
Thank you. I was drawing a blank. I love DC. I just haven't followed DC in a really long time. So it's like,
Well, from what I heard, a lot of people didn't really like their blah blah blah. The new, what is it? DC is the Justice League.
yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it for some reason. I don't know. I
Really?
haven't seen it yet.
You know
but
what I did hear? I did hear a bit about that, but I haven't seen it. But I also know a lot of people that are into DC more than they are Marvel.
Yeah.
And they absolutely loved it. So I'm sure there's a very big supporting group of it. So
I saw the trailers they got for Aquaman coming out look pretty sick.
I've had a couple people tell me about that. It looks like it's going to be a really good movie.
It's supposed to be like, it's not going to incorporate any of the other superheroes. It's basically just going to be Aquaman standalone, just him. They might probably have like a post-credit scene like they do in almost every other
Right.
movie.
Well,
like
did they
that.
do that in DC? I know Marvel's fucking famous for it, but I don't know if they do that in DC.
I think they do.
Oh, you know what?
They may not be
I think
very.
you're right.
Well, yeah,
maybe
because when I was watching, Alex had the Justice League movie on. It was just like the last 8 minutes, and then it cut to credits, or the first credits, and then it had a post credit scene.
Okay. And
just-
I was just gonna say I kind of remember that from one of the last Batman movies that I watched. The one with Heath Ledger. There was a post credit scene in that one too.
Was there a post credit one in that one? I know there was a post credit one in the first one, where he was like, James Gordon gave him like, oh, we got a new enemy coming, and he hands him a Joker card.
And this is his business
And
card.
that was, This is what this is calling sign is what he called it. Or
Oh,
whatever. But
okay.
yeah.
Okay. No, that's right. Because the one with Heath Ledger, he goes, "Here's my card." And he slides across a Joker playing card. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure there was a post credit scene in that one. I forget what it was. Pretty sure they were in the Bat Layer, and him and his butler were going back and forth about something.
Gotcha.
So it was good.
So we have a new cook at work.
New cook at work.
Yeah, we've had him for a couple weeks, 3
Right
weeks, almost a month.
How's he doing?
He's a great worker. He's there's a bit of a language barrier between us though, because he's from Mexico and he doesn't speak much English.
Mexico born.
Yeah, he was born in Mexico.
Nice,
He
native
came
Mexican.
here. He came here in the late '80s, early '90s. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
from what I
okay,
was told.
cool. He's been here a little while.
Yeah,
I work with a lot of them. I work at McDonald's, and we got a decent amount of native Mexicans. They're all ladies. We don't have too many native Mexican dudes anymore. When I first started, we had a few of them, but
yeah.
Anyway, I know the feeling, so go ahead.
Yeah, well, there's a language barrier and whatnot, and just tonight I learned a few things from him. I learned that he worked at Mancuso's.
Oh, no shit.
Before I worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was there when Mancuso's first opened and he first bought the place.
Oh, no shit.
I guess he's been friends with Mancuso for many years now, or whatever it was. He's telling me it's like 10 years or something like that.
Oh, shit. It's a small world.
Yeah.
How long ago was it that you worked at Mancuso's? We'll give some reference for the listeners.
I worked at Mancuso's about 3 or 4 years ago.
And how long were you there for?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I guess we were talking about that. We were talking about Mancuso and whatnot. And then he was like, yeah, he went back to Mexico for like 3 years. And then he came back up here. And when he came back, Mancuso's had closed down and all that. And he was like,
right.
oh, what had happened and all that and whatnot. And I thought it was just kind of cool. Like, wow, what a small friggin' world.
Small world.
I started working at Mancuso's, was my first Italian restaurant job. And then he gets a job working with me now at my current Italian restaurant job, and he worked where I worked before I even worked there.
Yeah.
He knew Kyle, Joe, all the people who worked there.
Oh, no
and all
shit.
that.
So you did know Kyle and all them. Yeah, because Kyle had been working there for a long time.
Yeah, like 5 years at least when I first started working there. And
he was on and off a little bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? I think.
Yeah, he did delivery driving, and then he started doing more shit.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then I learned something about our border systems and the way we do our immigration.
Yeah.
People always say, like, why are people crossing illegal? Why not just do it the legal way? Go through the whole process. I found out today that not only is the process, it can be quite difficult, and you can't have a criminal record or any of that shit to get a work visa legally.
Well, that's somewhat fair.
No, that's totally fair. But and then he told me he had to spend $5,000 to get all his papers and all that shit.
No shit.
Yeah. So you imagine someone's coming from a poor area of Mexico is trying to get a work visa to work here, and they can't afford $5,000. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you go to we had a Mexican guy who used to work overnights at McDonald's. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he was born in Mexico. He's got property in Mexico.
Yeah.
But he was telling me, like, yeah, man, he's got probably 5-10 acres in Mexico.
Really?
But he's working at McDonald's. Minimum wage overnights, just stacking up money.
Yeah.
Because he knows that the money he makes here is worth way more in Mexico.
Really?
So poor families in Mexico trying to get that $5,000, if it's $5,000 US, is very difficult.
Oh yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah. So he told me that, and I was very surprised. That's something I did not know. I figured it'd cost some money, but I didn't expect $5,000 just to get a work visa and all that. That's ridiculous. And he explained it because he had to do it for his wife or kids and shit like that too, I guess.
Yep.
And he said it's different or whatever. I don't think he had to pay like straight up 5,000, but it was like 1,000 here or 3,000 or whatever. Because he doesn't speak much English, so it's kind of hard for us to communicate.
Right.
And I'm trying to learn a little bit more, and he's talking about how he said something about going to school to try to learn some more English and whatnot and get more practice. I'm like, well, working here, talking with us gives you practice too, and then
definitely,
it's a good thing to learn how to do. And
yeah, if you guys help each other out, you guys, you can learn Spanish better, and he can learn English better for sure.
Absolutely. And it's no crap, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of
crazy.
It's crazy. It's the way that I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm glad with his attitude towards learning English. He's like, he wants to learn more in a sense versus how some people will live here for years, get a job and they still don't speak but like 5 words of English.
Oh yeah, I used to have 2, but I have one person that I work with at McDonald's she's older, so I mean I get it. I'm not entirely sure how old she is. She's you don't ask her later her age, because especially when she doesn't speak the same language. But she's a little bit older, but she's got to be in her 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
But she doesn't speak much English. She does a lot of point and speaks a little bit that she does know, and but she has absolutely no desire to learn any more than what she already does. She's not going to put any effort into that. And I'm not chalking that up to lazy with her. I'm sure if some younger people could learn more English, but they're lazy about it. But her, man, she's There's no way she's gonna. This is like teaching an old dog new tricks, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them. When they get older, that's what it is.
Well, my thing is, if you're gonna work here in the United States or whatever, and you're not from here, and you got to work visas, you should learn at least some basics and
Absolutely.
Try to acknowledge yourself so that way you can work properly and better with the people you work with.
It's only going to benefit you, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to benefit the people around you too, but it's going to benefit you more than it's going to benefit them.
Exactly. And
it's going to save them some frustration, and it's going to save you a lot of frustration and headache if you're a Spanish speaking person trying to learn the language.
Yeah, I've heard some people are like, oh, they shouldn't speak Spanish at all while they're here, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't give a fuck what language you speak or whatever. That's fine if you want to speak with whoever, with what language. But when you're working at a job that, the main language is English, learn English, get it down so that way you're not causing a bunch of problems in your work. And
Exactly. It's making
more clarity with what you're doing.
Absolutely. It's like I said, it's only going to benefit you. If you can do your job better, it's going to help you be able to work more hours to make more money. It's going to help you to be able to understand your job so you can do it better and you can get better raises and so on and so forth. It's going to benefit you. I like to present the reason why I want it to benefit me, because it's going to benefit me being able to speak with them better, but it's definitely going to benefit them more than it's going to benefit me.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people that complain about that language barrier as English people, the people that complain about it don't understand that it's far more frustrating for them and taking way more toll on their life than it is yours.
Absolutely.
So it's a frustration for you, and it's a fucking hassle and a half for them. So.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't want to learn the language, work at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them that you could work as a cook. We have a Hispanic restaurant up the street from us that most of them, I can imagine a lot of the people in the back don't know how to speak too much English. You got to be able to take orders in English, but if you work up front, but
yeah,
you can get away with it there. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not putting that as like, hey, go fucking do that. But you know, that's I love Mexican people. They're amazing. They got great food. They've provided us with an immense amount of different dances. They are fucking great rhythmically. Very awesome conversation. I love talking to Mexicans. They're great. They're great people.
Oh yeah,
great people.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, and the dude's probably one of the hardest workers we got in our store right now.
Oh yeah, they usually are. I've been working at McDonald's for 8 years, and a lot of our hardest workers have always been Mexicans.
Oh yeah.
You can also find some of your laziest, and
you sure can. Well, I mean, there's hard workers in every race. That's one thing. I was talking to someone, one of the Brando, who's a Chicano, is what I learned.
Did you find out what it was?
It's Chicano. Chicano, from what I was told, means it's you were like born from native Mexicans, but you were born in America. So you're a Chicano, is from what I'm wearing. It's like a fake Mexican or Americanized Mexican, I guess.
Yep.
And Brandon's a Chicano, from what Jesus has told me.
Gotcha. Does Brando speak Spanish?
He speaks what I'm pretty sure is called Spanglish.
Okay.
Where he was born here in America.
Yeah.
But his mom and dad, I believe, came here from Mexico.
I was just asking because I've never heard him speak Spanish at all, so I wasn't sure if he did or not.
He does. I've heard him. He talks to Jesus every once in a while in Spanish, and sometimes it's like Jesus will talk to him, and it's like Brandon will say something in Spanish, and he like talks to him back, whatever. Like he's not exactly sure what Brandon just said. So it makes me wonder if Brandon's Spanish isn't exactly as good as what he tries to portray it as.
Well, like I think you and I were kind of talking about this a couple days ago. He's got Brando's probably got a high school level of Spanish. He probably took Spanish in high school, so he's got, and I think some of that Spanish is actually, it's not Mexican. Not all of what you learn in high school is Mexican Spanish, if you will.
It's from like Spain.
It's from Spain, some sort of Spaniard or a different Spanish speaking country.
Yeah.
It's very more the formal. It's like it's
fancy.
It's a fancy Spanish. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine if the other dude, like I said, and also coming from different dialects. It's different dialect is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Different
Absolutely.
dialect. That and whatever his parents have taught him. I don't know what dialect his parents came from. Mm-hmm. If you're from different parts of Mexico, I'm sure there's different dialects there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the new guy. He's very good.
It's good.
Made my job way easier. The one thing we noticed is
Is it
like it
easier
feels
than
like
when I was there?
yeah.
I don't doubt it.
It's like having two of me back there. Dude.
That's
It's basically
good.
what it's like.
That's good. If it's got two of
They'll
you,
be,
dude, you guys are in fucking great hands.
Was it Tim told me yesterday yesterday was a good day for numbers or decent than what it has been recently. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, it didn't even feel busy. It's like it's because of that guy.
Yeah.
He calls them La Machine. I think that I'm saying that right. I could be saying that totally wrong. I think that means the machine.
The machine.
He's the machine.
La machine.
La Machine.
La machine. That sounds Chinese. La machine.
Yeah, we got a regular customer who's been coming in recently, and she's like Chinese or something like that, and she don't speak much English, so she's got this app on her phone where she'll scan over our menu, and it will translate it for her.
No shit.
Right there on her screen.
That's cool.
And Brandon came back. He's like, dude, look at this lady's doing this, man. That is so awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing what we've done with technology. Next thing we're going to be able to is we're going to have like the contacts or something.
Oh, don't tell me they're going to put it in my eyes.
Dude, if they
That
have
sounds
like
super
contacts
cool,
where you put it in your eye and then like things will translate for you, like if you're like
Well, if you're going to
to
do that, it's basically what it's going to do. It's going to be a computer. It's going to be a computerized some sort of microcomputer in your contact lens.
Dude, I would use those all the fucking time. It'd be amazing.
That would be super. It'd be a super awesome advancement in technology when it does come out, because it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming.
With the whole VR thing, I think it's gonna come with some sort of headset first,
Probably.
and it'll move to contacts eventually.
Google Glass, they had that going for a while.
Glasses, yeah, I heard about that. That kind of faded out fast, though. It must have had a lot of bugs.
That's what I'm assuming. It had some bugs, and I think people were like using it while they were driving and shit like that.
That's
So
dangerous.
Google was like, we gotta.
See, you know what's coming up with that?
Yeah.
What's gonna help with that and bring Google Glass back, and they'll have some bugs worked out by then. Is who was I talking with? And I didn't see the ad or the article or whatever myself, but apparently in 3 to 5 years, self-driving cars is gonna be a normal thing.
Yeah. Well, Tesla, the Tesla cars.
Yeah.
Well, some of their models have what's called autopilot.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking 3 to 5 years, and this is gonna be like a normal thing.
Really?
Like right now, it's in prototype. We know about it.
Yeah.
We know it's coming.
We're working on it. Yeah.
But in like 3 to 5 years, somebody's prediction, that's going to be normal. People are going to be able to just take naps on the way to work, or if you're going on a long road trip, just put it in autopilot and go to sleep. Yeah, it's going to be eating. I think it was me and Brandon talking about that.
Really?
Our older brother. We were talking about it, and people are, well, maybe it wasn't.
I don't know how much I would trust that though, dude. Like,
dude, I'm the same way. I'm
like
the
that
same
one?
way.
Mm-mm.
But what it'll be is once there's enough data on the statistics on it, because eventually you get enough of them driving.
Mm-hmm.
You get enough of them driving on public roads with people being aware, if people choose to be aware with it, and you find out how many accidents happen with the self-driving cars versus people actually driving.
Yeah.
And
whichever number is fewer is what we'll probably go with.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And they can work bugs out as they go along.
Well, yeah.
So I think it's gonna be one of those things.
But when you got a system like that, though, if you get some fucking hacker hacks the system and cause mayhem and havoc and shit, so that's another thing that we have to be worried about.
Well, you also have to be worried about that with the internet.
Well, yeah, but on the internet, you can't hack into someone's car and make them crash and then kill them.
No, you can't.
You know what I mean?
No, you can't.
There's dangers. You gotta
it?
take the good with the bad, I guess.
It was the first episode of Doctor Who that the Centaurans came back. That they did that with the cars. They took over the cars and people are being killed with the cars.
Yeah. Was that the Centaurans?
That was the Centaurans, yeah, because then they had the gas. I'm trying to remember the name of the company that they had.
Yeah.
But then the gas started spewing out, the car started spewing out the gas and
Yeah.
killing people, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's an awesome show. Doctor Who, you guys watch it. I'm telling you. Catch up and then skip the current. No, don't skip the current. Don't skip the current season, but don't start on the current season.
Yeah, definitely start at season
first season of the reboot. Yep.
For sure.
2009, I think it was.
Was it 2009?
I think so.
That doesn't sound right. It's 2005.
2000. Yeah, that's right. 2005.
Yep.
Don't skip 9, because Eccleston was the 9th Doctor.
Was he the 9th?
Yes.
I thought he was the 8th, and then technically Tennant was 9 and 10 because
Nope.
11th hour was David Tennant. Pretty sure that's how it went. Because David Tennant was 2 of them, and then it was 11th hour. And 11th hour was the 11th Doctor, which was technically the 12th Doctor. Or maybe...
No. Eccleston was 9 because David Tennant was 10 and 11, but Smith was the 11th face. That's why it was the 11th hour, but he was the 12th regeneration because they only had 12 generations.
Yeah, and then he mentioned how Tennant was greedy or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, vanity issues.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Tennant was awesome though, dude.
Oh, Tennant was my favorite. One of my favorite.
For sure.
I used to say all the time back in the day that Smith was my favorite, but rewatching it recently, like a month ago, I started rewatching it, and I got all the way up to Capaldi, and I haven't started Capaldi because I haven't decided to put the money into his 3 seasons yet. I will soon because I'm looking forward to some new episodes again. But yeah, looking back, man, Tennant's one of my all time favorites, dude. He's fucking awesome.
He is.
I think that's about all we got for today. I think we did skip a little bit of the voices in our head, or the the way voices, but we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, maybe for sure.
So, for those of you living, I hope you're living. I think we just did this on the last episode with the living. Thanks for living.
Thanks for living.
We
you guys.
appreciate you living, because if you weren't living, you wouldn't be able to listen to this awesome podcast. At least I hope it's awesome. If it's not awesome, let us know in the comments. If it is awesome, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We would appreciate that very much.
But first, what did we learn today?
Oh man, what did we learn today? We learned. Well, what did you learn about 7 Days to Die? I don't know.
7 Days to Die. We learned that it is a very time-consuming game.
Very time-consuming,
but it is also very fun.
Yeah.
And
well, if you're gonna spend that much time on a game that's gonna consume that much time, it better be fun.
Fuck yeah.
So that's good. The Avengers coming out in Marvel Cinematic Universe is amazing, and I'm super, super excited for the new Endgame coming out.
Oh my goodness, Endgame. It's gonna be awesome. Cannot wait.
I really can't wait. I really can't wait for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's going to be good too. We
could go into a whole rant right here and talk about Captain Marvel, but we won't. But I'm super excited about that too. I'm going to say this, but the preview where she crashes into a blockbuster,
yeah,
super awesome, fucking nostalgic as fuck.
Yeah. We also learned that there's language barriers between us, but we can overcome those barriers and become better people and
absolutely
do better in our lives by doing that and learning different languages and accepting those people for who they are. And
absolutely. And it's super expensive to get into America.
Yeah, it's super expensive to get in America legally. Like, what the fuck?
It's cheaper to leave than it is to get in, you guys. It's cheaper to leave. You might as well leave. I'm not leaving, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell.
You never know.
If I do leave, it's probably going to be for a visit, and I'll be back soon. Anyway, on that note, we will be back soon. Catch us next week for another great Sauce in the Fridge podcast.
Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Bye, you guys.
So long.